once again, we'll have Connie O from WWJO doing the play-by-play for us. Goes out over the radio also, and it doubles as our play-by-play for back on 34. And our thanks go out to him and to the station and to Andy Hilger, the station owner, for giving us permission to do this. A lot of warm-ups going on right now, and as always, we'll be right back.
Talking about, of course, the last time was when ROCORI lost by 11, 62-51 at Cold Spring. Well, that's our preview with the coaches, presented by Cold Spring Carpet on East Highway 23, by Winter Plumbing and Heating of Richmond, and by Richmond Bus Service. And we will return with the starting lineups and more here as we get ready for this Monticello ROCORI boys basketball game. We'll do that in 1 minute. Started for several years here, third year starting, I believe. Nate Holmstead, the 6'6 sophomore, also will start tonight. Jeff Smith, a 5'10 junior, and Jamie Benson, a 6'1 senior, along with Clint Link, a 6'4 junior, should see action for Monticello. We'll have the opening tip-off in 90 seconds.
At a guard position for the Magic, a sophomore, 6', number 14. At a forward position for the Spartans, the senior, 6', number 30, Bart Johnson. At a forward position for the Magic, a junior, 6'1, number 32, Jeremy Morrell. At the other forward position for the Spartans, a senior, 6'4", number 34, Greg Ethan. And another forward position for the Magic.
If you want to hold off on that Michael's on Main because it's another restaurant, go with Cold Spring Creamery if you like. We got the time, okay?
At a center position, regarding the sophomore, 6'4", number 52, Scott Hondo. And for the Magic, at center, a sophomore, 6'6", number 54, Nate Holmstead. Won't you please rise as the Monticello Pepland band plays our national anthem.
action here on 98 Country. The Spartans with Jesse Philippi and Steve Howells at the guards, Bart Johnson, Craig Ethan, and Scott Hondel up front. For Monticello, they're coming in with a record of 10-7, and they're 5-4 in the conference. And they will be starting with Ryan Gow, B.J. Lavelle, Jeremy Lavelle, Randy Horsch, and Nate Homestead as we get the action underway here at Monticello. And we'll have the jump ball, and that'll be the only one unless it happens to be some odd situation or an overtime. But it'll be Homestead going against Scott Hondel, the two fine sophomores, and the tap controlled by the Monticello Magic. And with the basketball down the left side is Jeremy Lavelle. Gets it inside to Homestead. His shot bounces on the top of the rim and comes off, and the Spartans have it into the front court. Philippi crossing in there and cutting back through the line is Bart Johnson trying to find his opening there. Across the lane goes Steve Howells, and then back outside to Johnson. Over on the right side to Howells, back around to Ethan. His turnaround jumper bounces a couple of times, won't go. Battle for the rebound, and Homestead pulls it down. And I'm sure we'll be saying that a lot here tonight. He's the big 6'6" young man who's only a sophomore, but very, very well developed. On the outside, Ryan Gow gets the top of the circle to B.J. Lavelle, and down into the corner to Jeremy Lavelle. His three-point shot won't go. Homestead rebounds it up and in. First offensive rebound for Homestead, and Monticello goes up by 2-0, first score of the ball game. B-game won by ROCORI, 44-41, in a real good close battle all the way. Spartans hung in there and won that one by 3. Pass inside from Ethan, intended inside, is knocked away and picked up by Monticello down court, and then stolen back by Johnson. So the teams exchange turnovers, and here come the Spartans right to left on your radio dial. Here comes Philippi into the lane, and as he drives past one of the Magic, he is fouled. Reaching in foul will be called. I believe it's going to be on Gow, but we'll check it with the official. Nope, it'll be on number 15. That would be B.J. Lavelle's first personal foul of the ball game. Make that number 14, B.J. Lavelle. First foul. Inside layup is good by Hondel. Hondel goes to the basket as he got the inbounds pass, put it down, and we're tied at 2. 6:31 to play here in quarter number 1. B.J. Lavelle across the timeline gets it back to Gow. Out at long range. Lavelle only a sophomore, down into the corner. So is Homestead. This club's probably a year away from having a very outstanding ball club. They would lose Gow and Horsch, but they would have Homestead and Lavelle, both Lavelles back. The shot from the inside by Homestead doesn't go down, and here come the Spartans, still tied at 2, 6 minutes to play. Hondel from outside, his three-pointer won't go. He's 50% from out there and 51% overall shooting, so one of the top Spartans, number 2 scorer on the team, one of the top rebounders as well. Craig Ethan on the outside gets it over to Bart Johnson. His three-pointer is good. Bart Johnson hits the tray, and the Spartans go up by 3 at 5-2. 5:37 on the clock, first quarter. Out at long range, Gow. ROCORI in a 2-3 zone defense, trying to sag on Homestead as much as possible. Here's the shot from the corner by Lavelle. Jeremy Lavelle's shot won't go, but the follow-up rebound by Homestead, that won't go either. And then ripped away. Both Ethan and Johnson were fighting for the ball, and Johnson came away with it. Good crowd on hand for tonight's ball game. Top of the circle, Philippi with the basketball. Bounce pass right side to Howells. Nice pass inside to Ethan, and Ethan puts it down. Craig Ethan's first basket of the ball game, and the Spartans go up by a 7-2 5-point lead. Across the timeline on the dribble, this is B.J. Lavelle off on the right side to Ryan Gow. Brings it back around to the top of the circle, still on the dribble, looking at that 2-3 zone, and goes down into the right-hand corner to Horsch, who had the ball for the first time. From long range, three-pointer, no good by B.J. Lavelle, and then on the rebound, a foul pushing off called. It'll be on Craig Ethan, who pleads his case, but to no avail, and it'll be out of bounds underneath to the Magic of Monticello. Homestead will trigger the inbounds pass for the Magic. And he'll drop it into the corner now to Jeremy Lavelle, back outside. Gow inside Homestead, back out to B.J. Lavelle. His little running jumper won't go, and we got out of bounds. It'll belong to the Magic. Last touch by one of the Spartans. Coach Bob Brink up off the bench wanting to get the over-the-back foul on Homestead, but Homestead, as big as he is, can practically go straight up and get that ball over the top of somebody. That ball is batted out into the corner, and Philippi comes up with it. very close to defensive goaltending there. It looked like the ball was hanging a little bit on the cylinder. Inside, Ethan has it blocked by Homestead. And across the timeline on the dribble, here comes Gow. Down into the right corner to Lavelle, Jeremy Lavelle, outside to B.J. Lavelle. Off down into the left-hand corner. Horsch now inside, layup, good. Nice move along the baseline for Jeremy Lavelle, who's the right hand that time, even though he's a left-hander. And it's a 3-point lead for ROCORI at 7-4, just under 4 minutes to play as we pass the midway point of the first quarter. Philippi at the top of the circle, backdoor for Hondel, reverses himself up and in. Nice move by Hondel, who was triple teamed but got his second basket, 4 points. Spartans by 5. 9-4, 3:39 to play first quarter. ROCORI with some full court 2-2-1 zone pressure, but across the timeline they clear it. They try to trap a little bit on the ball, but Jeremy Lavelle has it, right corner to B.J. Lavelle. Back outside and then down into Horsch. Inside, there's a reverse up, no, it went through. And Jeremy Lavelle will get the basket, his second field goal of the ball game. And a foul called, and the Spartans foul will be on number 34, Craig Ethan, which would give Craig his second foul in a row. Both of the ROCORI fouls are on Ethan. And at the line will be Jeremy Lavelle. Lavelle at the line, free throw good. Completes the three-point play, has 5 points in the ball game, cuts the ROCORI lead to 2. Magic led by 2-0. It was tied at 2, our only tie. Philippi ahead to Ethan. Ethan with a little jump shot. It's long, no good. Hondel bats it out, rebounds it himself over the top. Good. Nice move by Hondel as he went up over the top of Homestead and put it down with the little 8-foot jumper from the left side of the lane. ROCORI back up by 4. Down court. Gow with the basketball, top of the circle. Drives to the free throw line. Outside, B.J. Lavelle. His shot has just got the rim, and Hulls gets the long carom rebound. Here's the return pass from Ethan back to Philippi, and the ball just rolled off. He was not quite turned to the basket, and Homestead rebounds it. Gow into the lane. Running jumper is good. Ryan Gow's field goal is second to the ball game, and it's a 2-point lead for the Spartans at 11-9. 2:31 to play first quarter. Across the timeline, this is Philippi. Goes to the top of the circle and looks at what appears to be a 3-2 zone for Monticello. A matchup type zone, I guess it would be. Craig Ethan. Now Philippi, back to Ethan. Inside for Hondel, but he lost it. It's picked up by Gow. Second turnover for the Spartans. And diving for the ball is Johnson trying to make the steal from Gow. Here's Jeremy Lavelle with a nice move, and a foul over the back will be called on Nate Homestead. There was not too much doubt about that one. Nate Homestead picks up his first foul, second team foul against Monticello. And with 2:03 to play, ROCORI up by 2. Dan Moore will check in, and Craig Ethan will sit down. Craig Ethan picking up his second personal foul a little while ago, and Coach Bob Brink wants to let him sit out the rest of the first quarter, I'm sure. 2:03 to play. They need him in there. Dan Moore also a good rebounder for the Spartans. Philippi into the front court. To the top of the circle. Backing away on the dribble. Lost the ball momentarily, then gets it back to Steve Howells. Over on the left side to Johnson. Johnson pulls up. Back out to Howells. Howells out at long range, covered by Jeremy Lavelle. Inside to Moore. Drops it even further in. Off the glass. Nice shot by Hondel, and he has 8 points in the ball game. Well, we expected a battle between the two sophomores, and so far Hondel has it 8-2 offensively anyway, although Homestead's had some big rebounds and some block shots for Monticello, but he really does a job, and they're sagging a lot on him. Right now he's got Bart Johnson in the front of him, and Moore in the back of him. Here's a steal by Moore. Howells pulls up from three-point line, hits it. A three-pointer for Steve Howells. And that's the second three-pointer of the ball game for the Spartans, and they are up by 7. Their biggest lead of the ball game at 16-9, just over a minute to play first quarter. Pass outside to Gow. Gow with the basketball. Jamie Benson, a 6'1 senior, is checked in, and B.J. Lavelle sat down for Coach Max Lavelle. From outside, the three-pointer is good by Lavelle. Jeremy Lavelle has a tray. That's 7 points in the ball game for him. First three-pointer of the game. Actually 8, as he has 3 baskets and a free throw. 8 points leads the scoring. Hondel 8 for the Spartans. 36 seconds to play. 16-12, 4-point lead for ROCORI. In the lane, the feed goes to Moore, and right now Jeremy Lavelle playing very, very well as he knocks it away from Dan Moore as he went to the basket. So it'll be out of bounds to the Spartans, and Steve Howells will trigger the inbounds pass. 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Dropped it into the corner to Handel. Back outside to Philippi. Back to Howells in the corner. Outside to Philippi. Philippi working toward the top of the circle. 20 seconds on the clock. ROCORI looks like they'll play for one. Handel in the lane, puts up the little jumper. It's no good. Battle for the ball, and Homestead comes off with it. Well, I think the Spartans wanted to play for one, but they didn't get it inside to Handel and decided to try for it. He has been hitting that shot. Here's the shot from outside. Three by Gao. Gao hits the tray for the Magic, and that's the end of the first quarter. The score at the end of one. That 7-point lead has disappeared. It's down to one. It's ROCORI 16, Monticello 15. Back in a minute. Yeah, I'm picking up the feed now, so that's good. My radio's getting kind of low. Yeah, why don't you go ahead with Cold Spring Granite? We should be able to get that in there. On second thought, send it back after this, and I'll do a 15 here. We're back for quarter number 2 here at Monticello, with the lead belonging to the ROCORI Spartans by 1 as we head into quarter number 2. The Spartans led in scoring with 8 points by Scott Handel and 8 points for Jeremy Lavelle to lead the scoring for the Magic. But a big three-pointer by Lavelle and a three-pointer by Gao right at the end of the first quarter gave the 7-point lead from 16-9 all the way down to 16 to 15. Here's a little jumper that's on the rim, no good by Handel. Handel traveled but got by with it that time. And across the timeline comes B.J. Lavelle. It's Lavelle along with Benson, Jeremy Lavelle, Homestead, and now the pass inside, intended inside for Clint Link, who just checked in, a 6'4" junior, goes off his hands and out of bounds. He was so open that he just forgot to catch the basketball that time. 7.5 minutes to play. ROCORI by 1. We're in the second quarter. Across the timeline, Philippi drives, puts up the little jumper and hits it. Jesse Philippi, who appeared to be fouled on that play, got the jump shot up anyway, was not impaired anyway, and he got the bucket, a 3-point lead for ROCORI. Almost a steal, but then a nice play by Benson, who banged it off the knee of Bart Johnson and out of bounds, and it almost hit Benson on the way out of bounds again, which would have been off Monticello out of bounds, so pretty good play by Benson. Outside, Benson looks at the shot, doesn't take it. Lavelle will take the shot. It's way short. Follow-up shot, no good by Link, but then a foul called underneath, and let's see who picked up the personal foul. Foul will be charged to the Spartans, and it'll be on, well, let's see who did pick up the foul. Number 40, that would be Dan Moore's first personal foul. It's in a two-shot situation. Well, we mentioned the Valentine's Day brunch, but make your Valentine's dinner special. They have that at the Red River Inn in Cold Spring as well. Evening special served from 3 to 8 p.m. on Valentine's Day. Barbecued ribs, chicken for $8.50, and chicken for $8.50. Chicken stir fry for $6.99, and the sirloin steak for just $6.99. All dinners include soup and salad bar. It's the Valentine's dinner you love at the Red River Inn, Cold Spring. Free throw is up and good on the first one, missed on the second one. The follow-up shot was good. 32. And the basket made by Lavelle, and now on the inside, the shot is up and good by Handel. And for the Spartans, who follows it up and in, he has 10 points in the ball game. And for the Magic, now 10 points in the game for Lavelle. The ball's inside, kicked outside. Philippi with a nice play, gets it off to Howells. Howells got it off the glass and in, and Howells got by with a little travel that time too. So the Spartans turned the turnover into a 2-pointer. 5 points for Howells in the ball game, and turnover number 3 for the Magic. Shot from the left side, no good by the Magic, and here come the Spartans leading at 22-18, up by 4. Bounce pass off on the right side. Here's the jumper by Johnson. The 3-pointer won't go. Here's Moore rebounding it way out at the free throw line. Gets it off to Philippi. Over to Johnson on the right side. Johnson bounces it off to Howells. Howells looking inside. Philippi from the corner is covered quickly over there by Benson. Gets it back outside now. And the jump shot from the right side by Handel is good. Handel with 12 unofficially in the ball game. And Jeremy Lavelle will bring it down for the Magic. They trail by 6 again. The biggest lead for the Spartans was 7. Lavelle back outside now to VJ Lavelle. Gets it off down into the corner to Link. He and Homestead both very big physically, 6'6" and 6'4". Turnaround shot inside, up and in by Homestead, who really works well on the inside. If they get him the ball, it's 2 points. There's just no stopping him. He's so strong inside. 24-20, ROCORI by 4, 5:15 to play in the first half. Here's Philippi with the basketball, right side to Hulls, down into the corner to Moore, and back out to Hulls, top of the circle to Philippi. Philippi off on the left side to Johnson, goes inside to Handel, let it knocked away. Back over, it comes right side to Hulls for 3. It's on the iron, but no good. And now Johnson bats it away and thought he might get by with it, but it was out of bounds off Johnson, and it'll belong to Monticello, backcourt baseline. The magic of Monticello. And the Spartans of ROCORI. ROCORI leading at 24-20. They led all but 2-0 at the outset, and it was tied at 2. And now Ryan Gow will check back in. He has 5 points in the ballgame, a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer. And Max Lavelle's son Jeremy will sit down next to him. Gow, along with another new player in there, Jeff Smith, has just checked in. Clint Link is still in there. So Homestead's the only starter in there right now. Link on the left side. Outside it goes to Smith. Back to Link for the jumper. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound Johnson. Gives it off to Philippi. Philippi, Johnson, Howells, Handel, and Ethan for the Spartans right now. Jump shot from the left side. Ethan was wide open, but he missed the 14-footer. And here come the Monticello Magic with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Right side, this is VJ Lavelle. Gets the ball back outside and shoots the 3 and hits it. First 3-pointer of the ball game for Lavelle, and that is the third 3-pointer for the Magic, who trail now by only 1 at 24-23. ROCORI has 2 3-point baskets in the ball game. It was here that Jay Schneider originally set the ROCORI record for 3-point baskets in a game. He had 7 here, and all 21 of his points were on 3-pointers. Down court, here's the jump shot. It won't go. The tap won't go. The follow-up will be up, no good. And the rebound finally pulled out by Ethan off to Homestead. Boy, they're letting him play out there. I'll say that for him. And now reaching in from behind, a foul will be called on Jeff Smith. It'll be his first of the ball game, and it'll be team foul number 3 against the Magic. Now a whistle, and I think we're going to have a timeout. Timeout ROCORI. Timeout on the floor. 3:42 to play first half. The score, ROCORI 24, Monticello 23. Back in a minute. If we don't get all the breaks in at the first half, don't worry about it. When I once read the 2 sponsors for halftime, we'll make sure we go to that. But yeah, 1 minute. Checking with Mike on the Monticello basket and missed it. Unfortunately, Mike picked it up. He's sitting to my right and keeps us posted. He's the statistician that furnishes a lot of information for us as well, and we thank him for that. Pass intended inside, goes off the hand and into the hands of Homestead, and that's turnover number 3 for ROCORI. And here come the Monticello Magic across the timeline with the basketball. This is VJ Lavelle down into the right corner to Gow, looking inside at Link. Both Homestead and Link posted up inside. Jump shot left side, one goal by Lavelle. Inside, Gow puts it up off the glass too hard. Battle for the ball, and a big pileup. And we're going to get a foul called on Philippi, apparently. And it looks to be like perhaps the player was over his back. And how they got tangled up and how they picked somebody out of that is more than I can see. It was a very tough call because there was a lot of legs in there, and both players went down in a big pile under the basket in the lane. Shot from the corner by VJ Lavelle, no good. Handel rebounds it, lead pass, a beauty, 3-on-1, and Howells lays it up and in. Steve Howells with the breakaway has 7 points in the ball game, and the Spartans lead is back up to 3 at 26-23, just under 3 minutes to play first half. We'll have Bob Brink, our guest, at halftime. Craig Ethan knocks the ball away and then saves it nicely ahead to Howells. Beautiful save by Ethan. Down court to Handel. Pulls up for the 15-footer. It's short, no good. Rebound, Gow. Well, the Spartans are playing very, very good basketball here tonight so far. Left side, this is Link. Back outside it comes for Jeff Smith. Now off on the right side to Gow. Gow's open for the shot. Takes it, no good, but Homestead follows it in. 6 points for Nate Homestead. You can almost throw it up and let him go after it. 26-25, 2:18 to play, first half. Right side to Steve Howells, back out to Philippi. Philippi drives it into the lane, goes up against Homestead. Homestead, no foul as he crashed into it. And no call on that one. Boy, I'll tell you, they're letting them play almost to the point where they're missing a few of them. Inside, Homestead off the glass and in. Homestead has 8. And the Magic take the lead at 27-26 across the timeline. Well, you get a big guy like that, and if he can get by with it, in addition to being a dominating player to start with, it makes it mighty tough. Here's Johnson from the left side. It's good. They're only going to give him 2 on that one, as he apparently was touching the line. The official right there on the spot. 5 points for Johnson. ROCORI back up by 1. Outside, this is Smith. Whips it inside for Homestead. Off balance shot won't go. Link follows it up on the rebound, but it is batted away by Handel, and Handel will pick up his first foul of the basketball game. Going to the free throw line for Monticello will be Clint Link to shoot a pair. We'll come back in 30 seconds. Just 30. Link at the line. He throws up and good. Link makes both free throws and gives Monticello the lead at 29-28 once again. So a seesaw battle going on here. B game won by ROCORI 44-41. That also was a very good basketball game, close all the way. Backcourt baseline, ROCORI against full court pressure now. Inbounds a 1-2-2, 1-3-1 zone press, it would appear. And Philippi now will clear it across the timeline, bounces it on the left side to Johnson. Back out to Philippi, and now the Magic settle back into their 2-3 zone. Outside Philippi for 3. It's in and out, no good. Comes back out to Howells, though, on the long carom. His three-pointer is no good. Battle for the rebound, and Homestead pulls it out of there with 1 minute to play in the first half. Monticello up by 1. Outside Gow with the basketball. Bounce pass off on the right side. Jeremy Lavelle, his shot long, no good. Rebound pulled down by Howells. Lavelle was hot in the early going, but he's cooled off considerably. And here's Philippi. Right side to Johnson, who was open for the 3, but did not take it. Apparently, ROCORI wants to go for 1. They trail by a point at 29-28. Now Handel will bring it around as Monticello has gone to the man-to-man defense, and as Howells got the nice pass underneath the basket, Lavelle tried to block it. They both went down in a pile, but Howells got the easy 2 underneath on a nice play inside. Nice feed. 9 points for Howells, 10 for Handel. The 2 leading scorers for the Spartans during the regular season, also leading here tonight. 10 seconds on the clock, ROCORI by 1. Here's Jeremy Lavelle for 3, and it's good. Jeremy Lavelle with an even dozen from the field, and 13 points in the ball game totally. Shot was late, no good. That's the end of the first half with the score. Monticello 32, ROCORI 30. We'll be back with our halftime in 2 minutes. Hey, Dory?
What are you looking at out there? Bring the big boy.
Dory?
These are the churches.
Take the 2 minutes here then, and then we'll go to our halftime, okay? Because we can pick up the rest of those right after the half. Okay, thank you. I'm not picking up the signal. Zone has Jesse Philippi and Steve Howells out front, and Ethan in the middle along with Johnson and Handel down low, but they're all sagging on Homestead, trying to keep him from getting the basketball, and Ethan in particular playing with 2 personal fouls, really leaning on the bigger Homestead, who really has an advantage on him. Inside, Homestead off the glass too hard. Horsch rebounds it up and in on the weak side. I'm sure that's something that Monticello talked about, was getting the ball, getting the weak side rebound when they were going heavy on Homestead on the other side, and that time it worked. 34-30 the score. With the Spartans trailing by 4, that's the biggest lead of the ball game for the Magic of Monticello. Bounce pass intended for Handel, he can't chase it down, and the Spartans commit the first turnover of the second half. Bart Johnson over for a word with coaches Doug and Bob Brink. Gary Distill's ball club winning 44-41 in the B game tonight. Inside, Homestead off the glass, too hard, no good. Howells rebounds it on the near side. And Philippi will bring it down. 34-30 the score. Left side to Johnson for 3. No, it's around the rim, no good. And Homestead with still another rebound. That's a dozen. Across the timeline, Gow drives it into the middle, brings it back outside to B.J. Lavelle, and his three-pointer is good. A 3 for Lavelle gives Monticello their biggest lead at 7. ROCORI had a 7-point lead early in the ball game, and Lavelle, both his field goals have been the three-point variety. Outside, this is Johnson. Johnson pulls up, goes back into the right corner to Howells, and then brings it back out to Johnson as they play catch on the right wing. Here's Johnson off to Philippi. Philippi drives it into the lane, goes against Homestead, puts up the little jumper, it won't go. Ball knocked away, and we're going to get a foul call from behind on Philippi, and Jesse will pick up his second foul of the basketball game. Backcourt baseline. Monticello will have the ball. ROCORI will put on a little bit of man-to-man pressure now. Full court. Jeremy Lavelle will trigger the inbounds pass, and having trouble getting the ball in, and it should have been a 5-second call. ROCORI came up with the ball anyway. Handel pulls up in the lane. Jump shot is good, so the Spartans turn that Monticello turnover into 2 points, and that is 12 now for Handel. On the outside, knocked away. And now as Johnson went after the ball, he went out of bounds and can't come back in after the ball, even though it appeared it never did go out of bounds, but he can't come in after it. And thus it'll belong to Monticello on the side. So out of bounds, Gow will have the basketball on long range. Bounce pass down into the corner to Lavelle, back out to Gow, to B.J. Lavelle. Over on the left side to Horsch. They play the perimeter against the 2-3 zone. Here's a jumper by Horsch, it won't go. Rebound, Philippi brings it down for the Spartans, and he'll bring it into the front court. 37-32, 5-point lead for Monticello. ROCORI with the basketball. Left side to Handel. Over Homestead. Round the rim, no good. Gow with the rebound. He'll bring it down court for the Magic. Takes it down the lane, takes it to the basket. Shot won't go, but Handel will get the foul. Handel was the last man to stop him, and he tried, but he got the foul. Timeout, ROCORI with the score. Monticello 37, ROCORI 32, 5:34 to play third quarter. 98 Country, WWJO St. Cloud. We'll be back in 1 minute. Top 37-32, ROCORI calling the timeout to discuss things. And the Spartans will send Johnson. Howells. Moore is in there now replacing Ethan, who's having a tough job on Homestead, so they're trying to keep a fresh man on him all the time. Handel is still in there. Philippi also in the ball game, and at the free throw line will be Ryan Gow. First attempt at the charity line is up, and it's good. He was in the act of shooting, so he'll get a pair. He has 6 points in the ball game right now. 13 points for Jeremy Lavelle to lead the scoring. Got most of those early on in the ball game. In fact, he got them all in the first half. 5:34 to play in the third quarter. And Bart Johnson rebounds it ahead to Howells. The second free throw is no good by Gow. Outside to Philippi, and Coach Bob Brink says run the offense. Right side off it goes to Moore. Moore looking inside, back out to Hondel. Hondel at long range. Back it comes for Johnson. Johnson with the basketball, left side to Howells. Howells in the lane, pulls up the free throw line. Gets it outside now to Johnson, Bart Johnson. Monticello in a man-to-man defense. Bounce pass right side to Hondel, who's covered by Homestead. Backdoor to Moore, who is covered with a mismatch by B.J. Lavelle. And Moore is fouled, and let's see if Moore will go to the free throw line. B.J. Lavelle will pick up the personal foul. It'll be his second of the ball game. And it'll be out of bounds ROCORI. He was on the pass in and not on the shot. Pass comes into Hondel in the corner for three. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled out of there by Jeremy Lavelle, and Lavelle will bring it across the timeline quickly. He's only a junior, so two Lavelles are young players. Three-pointer from the right side won't go. Horsch with the rebound, out of bounds. As he tried to go inside to Gow, it was off his foot and out of bounds. Turnover 2 second half for the Magic. 1 on the Spartans here in the second half. Magic with 5 for the ball game, 4 for ROCORI as far as turnovers are concerned. Across the timeline, Philippi off on the left-hand side to Johnson. His jumper is good. That's a 2 for Bart Johnson, and he has 7 points in the ball game. 38-34. The Magic lead is down to 4, as they've had 6- and 7-point leads in this quarter. And they have the basketball. Jeremy Lavelle, a little jumper off the glass and in as he let the traffic clear and pumped it home. 15 in the ball game for Jeremy Lavelle. Into the front court with the basketball. This is Philippi. Jesse Philippi across the top of the circle to Howells on the right side. Howells covered by Jeremy Lavelle. Gets it off to Moore, now to Philippi. Tried to go back inside to Howells on probably one too many passes that time, and ROCORI turned it over. Spartans turned it over for the second time and the 5th in the ball game. Out of the ball game, Lavelle, B.J. Lavelle, and Randy Horsch, and back into the ball game. Also sitting down is Gow, and coming back in, Jamie Benson, Jeff Smith, and Clint Link. Pass inside, their shot's no good, and then Homestead rebounded and put it up and missed it. And Moore comes up with a second one. Everybody wanted a little travel on Clint Link, but did not get it. Link in the ball game along with Benson and Smith. The 3 substitutions for Monticello. Into traffic goes Jesse Philippi, and he ran into a wall in Homestead. But there will be a foul called. The foul will be on number 24, Jamie Benson. It'll be his first personal foul. Jesse has to be a tough kid because he rammed into the legs of Homestead. They're about a foot difference in size, and Jesse gets the ball outside. Jesse's a great little leaper. He's got a great vertical, probably the best vertical jump on the team. Steal by Jamie Benson, as the Spartans didn't take care of the ball very well, and they have their 3rd turnover here in the 3rd quarter. They had only 3 in the entire first half. Smith off on the right-hand side to Link. Back outside it comes for Benson, I beg your pardon. Now Smith outside. And now Smith gets it back to Benson. Looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Clint Link puts up the 2 from the left side. Clint Link can shoot the outside shot. He has 5 in the ball game off the bench. All 5 of the bench points belong to him. The 2 for ROCORI belong to Dan Moore, the only substitution so far, as Ethan gets set to come back in. Here's Howells outside to Philippi. Philippi looking inside. Now puts it on the floor one time, gets it to Johnson, back to Philippi. Philippi in traffic, puts up the jumper, it's no good. Rebound actually went into the trees that time. Coach Bob Rink wanted a foul, did not get it. Here's Benson, left side for Link. His jumper won't go, but a rebound pushing off foul will be called on Homestead. His 3rd personal foul of the ball, 2nd personal foul of the ball game. Ethan will come into the game for the Spartans. That was team foul number 3 in the second half for the Magic. Coach Bob Brink still pleading his case, but not getting an ear from the official. And 42-34, 8-point lead for Monticello, their biggest lead of the night. Philippi into the front court. 2:20 to play 3rd quarter. Spartans need a run here. Howells with the basketball. Back out to Philippi. Bounce pass back to Howells, who came through the lane. Howells with the ball covered over there by Smith. Now the pass intended for Philippi is picked off by Benson. And turnover 4 for the Spartans here in the 3rd quarter, and that's been one of their big problems. Benson back out to Smith. Right side to Jeremy LaBelle over to Benson, who's open for the two-point shot, and it's good. Benson well inside the three-point line, gets his first 2 points of the ball game, and Monticello goes up by 10, 44-34. Philippi with the ball, right side. Bounce pass to Moore, looking inside, now a whistle, and a holding foul will be called on Jeremy LaBelle. It'll be his first foul of the basketball game. Coach Bob Brink wants Craig Ethan to go inside. Now the three substitutions coming back in, the three starters. Gow, B.J. LaBelle, and Randy Horsch come back in. And Benson Homestead will sit down now for the last couple of minutes here. This is a possible chance for the Spartans to make a little run with the big man out of there. They trail by 10 and they need a run. Handel with the ball. Over it comes to Ethan. Down into the corner to Howells. His jumper won't go. Rebound. Handel puts it up no good, and a foul called. And the foul will be on Link. Clint Link will pick up his first foul. It'll be team foul number 5 against Monticello, and out of bounds under the basket to the Spartans. They'll throw it in. Danny Moore will trigger the inbound pass. We do not have the next ROCORI ball game on the schedule, but we will have the game following that, which will be the Alexandria game on Tuesday. And then we'll have a week after that, we'll have the Brainerd game. Those will be our final broadcast here on 98. Here's a shot, no good by Philippi, but a foul called, and it will be on Link, I believe. But we'll wait for the officials' call. Philippi will go to the line to shoot a pair. Personal foul on Clint Link. Clint Link is his second of the ball game. Philippi will go to the line. Make sure your February 14th plans include the Valentine's Day brunch at the Red River Inn in Cold Spring. You'll love the menu: waffles, crepes, fruit sauces, eggs, sausage, ham, hash browns, chicken dressing, fruit, juice, and salad, all for just $5.99, served 9 until 2. Valentine's brunch at the Red River Inn this Sunday in Cold Spring. Don't you miss it, and you will love it. The free throw by Philippi is up and good. That's the first free throw shot by the Spartans tonight. First free throw by the Spartans tonight. Second free throw is also good. Spartans have been shooting free throws very, very well. And that one was no exception. Down court, little jumper in the lane, no good. Rebound, Ethan lost the ball. Philippi comes up with it. Appeared that B.J. LaBelle had undercut there, but there was no call. ROCORI's next game, by the way, will be at ROCORI against St. Cloud Apollo. From outside, the three-pointer is good. And the Spartans cut the lead to 44-39. Here's the pass to the right side, now underneath, intended underneath for Link, but it's knocked away by Ethan, and Ethan will pick up his third personal foul of the ball game. So Ethan did have the three-pointer. It's unusual for him to shoot the three. That's why I wanted to double-check that one, but it was Craig Ethan getting the three-pointer from the right wing. And he also picked up the foul down at the other end, which is his third. Danny Moore will come out of the ball game. So it'll be Handel, Johnson, Moore, Philippi, and Howells in there for ROCORI. 44-39. ROCORI cuts that lead down to 5 with Homestead on the bench. Horsch now with 40 seconds on the clock. Spartan, or the Magic will play for 1. In the lane, the jump shot is no good. The rebound, Handel comes up and gets it. Handel will get it off to Philippi, and ROCORI can cut it to 3. As they miss Homestead in there for Monticello, no question. Philippi off to Ethan, covered by Horsch. Puts it on the floor once and gives it to Johnson for 3. Won't go, but the rebound shot is good by Howells, and they do cut it to 3. So Howells now with 11 points in the ballgame for ROCORI. Pass left side to Gow, pulls up for 3. Off the glass and in. He banked it in. That was a prayer thrown up by Ryan Gow, but he hit it. And he has 9 in the ballgame, his second three-pointer of the game. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Monticello 47, ROCORI 41. Big basket, and we'll be back in 1 minute. Probably have to take some 30s on free throws. 6-point lead for Monticello as we head to the fourth quarter, 47-41. A big three-point basket as ROCORI had that lead down to 3, but Monticello with a big 3 by Gao gives them a 47-41 advantage heading into the fourth quarter. ROCORI will have the basketball as Ethan drops it into Philippi. Johnson, Howells, and Handel also in there, so the starting 5 for ROCORI. Starting 5 also back in. Nope, one exception there. There's a steal by Gao. Gao on the breakaway. Can't make the shot, but we're going to get a foul called. The steal was the 5th turnover for ROCORI, and the foul will be charged to the Spartans. And it's going to be on Jesse Philippi. It'll be his 3rd personal foul. Going to the line to shoot a pair will be Ryan Gao. We'll come back in 30 seconds. Gao makes the first one. Gao hits both ends of the free throws, and now we've got a whistle and a foul at the other end as Gao picks up the personal foul, his first of the ball game. He tripped Philippi as he went by. That is the 7th team foul against Monticello, so with their 8-point lead up there on the board, they also have ROCORI now in the bonus situation. Shooting the 1-and-1 will be Jesse Philippi for the ROCORI Spartans. Say, make Valentine's dinner special at Red River Inn in Cold Spring. Evening special served from 3 to 8 p.m. Barbecued ribs and chicken for $8.50, chicken stir fry for $6.99, and sirloin steak for just $6.99. All dinners include soup and salad bar. It's the Valentine's dinner you love at the Red River Inn Cold Spring. And don't forget that Valentine's Day brunch at the Red River Inn, served from 9 until 2 on Sunday. Free throw 1 is good by Philippi, and free throw 2 rattles out of it. So the Spartans trailing by 7 as Philippi is 3 out of 4 from the line. The driving layup won't go. The rebound pulled out of there by the Spartans. Philippi 49-42, 7-point lead. Jump shot by Philippi is no good, and on the outside, there was a big collision as somebody rammed into Philippi after the shot, but then a foul underneath will be charged to the Monticello Magic, and the foul will be called on Jeremy Lavelle. It'll be his 2nd personal foul of the ball game. And as we said, Monticello over the limit, so Bart Johnson will be at the line to shoot the 1-and-1 for ROCORI. 7:25 to play in the ball game. ROCORI trailing by 7. Bart Johnson at the line. His free throw is up, and it's good. ROCORI shooting free throws very, very well, as we said. They're 4 of 5 from the charity line tonight. Neither club has shot a lot of free throws, although Monticello has been to the line 9 times and made 7. Johnson one more time. It's up, and it's good. So Johnson now with 9 points in the ball game. We'll be naming our Marnatelli's Pizza Player of the Game in the post-game show with the coach. Stick around for that. That'll be a ROCORI player. Here's a pass across the timeline. Gao gets it as Lavelle just did get it over there. And now the ROCORI Spartans drop back into their 2-3 zone. Homestead, along with Horsch, Jeremy Lavelle, Jamie Benson, and Ryan Gao in there right now as B.J. Lavelle, the sophomore, not in there. And now Horsch on his 2nd weak side rebound shot. Both his baskets have come after a missed shot on the strong side, and he puts it back in on the rebound. So nice move by Horsch, who did not score in the first half. Here's a three-pointer, no good by Johnson. Ball's punched away from Hondo. On the foul, it'll be Jamie Benson. That'll send Hondo to the line to shoot the 1-and-1, and we'll come back in 30 seconds. By Handel is no good, and so here come the Magic. A three-pointer by Benson won't go. Ball is tapped out, stolen by Howells. Howells on the breakaway, pulls up from long range, it puts up the jumper, it won't go. Rebound Horace on the weak side, long lead pass for Homestead. Homestead has it knocked away, and the Spartans now will get a foul, and I believe they're going to call a offensive goaltending as somebody had a hold of the net, and there was no foul. But somebody grabbed the net. They normally don't call that. You rarely see that called, but the basket will go to Homestead. And it'll be two points for Homestead, Nate Homestead. That was defensive goaltending for ROCORI. And so Homestead now has 10 in the ball game. And oddly enough, that's his first basket of the second half, and it came under unusual circumstances because he was going to dunk the ball, and then Howells came in, knocked the ball away from him, at least got a hand on it. And then as the ball was bouncing around on the rim, someone from ROCORI grabbed the net and pulled it down a little bit, and that was the reason nobody can have a hand in the net. And that's a form of defensive goaltending. Outside Howells to Philippi. Philippi with the pass inside is cut off by Horst. Nice cutoff as he got that ball, and on the driving layup, it's good by Gow at the other end, who has 13 in the ball game. 55-44, 11-point lead, 4 unanswered points for the Magic. Three-pointer won't go for ROCORI, and the ball chased down in the corner by Howells, who gets it back out to Philippi, and timeout ROCORI. The score with 5:36 to play. ROCORI trailing 55-44 to the Magic of Monticello. Back in a minute. You might want to take Michaels and let's try and slip in Cold Spring Granite too. Yeah, I get the Cold Spring Granite too. Monticello leading at 55-44 here on 98 Country, WWJO St. Cloud, Connie O courtside, Dory Adams back at the studios, and the officials talking with the captains here, Craig Ethan and Bart Johnson, Ryan Gow and Randy Horsch. And now the Magic will talk it over as far as after the meeting, apparently discussing something. I'm not sure what it was, but the official wanted to clarify something. At the free throw line will be Craig Ethan for the Spartans, who has yet to go to the charity line. ROCORI is a team 5 out of 7 from the stripe. And now at the line, it'll be Craig Ethan as Horsch. In fact, Monticello had 2 men down low, and so they had to make the change down there. At the line will be Craig Ethan. His free throw is good. Well, that's a little unusual for the fans to make that much noise on a free throw when the home team is up by 11, but that's what they're doing. They're stopping their feet. At least the student body is anyway. The free throw by Ethan, second one won't go. Rebound pulled out of there by Homestead. And down court will be Gow across the timeline. Gow clears it, goes to Benson out at the top of the circle, between the circles actually, top of the arc. Gets it over on the left side. Ooh, Jeremy Lavelle just did get that pass. Philippi covering on Gow, and reaching in will be called on Philippi. And Jesse will pick up his 4th personal foul of the basketball game. Now B.J. Lavelle gets set to come back in for Monticello, and sitting down will be Jamie Benson, the 6'1 senior. And back under their own basket, Monticello will trigger it into the corner to B.J. Lavelle, back outside to Gow. Monticello not in any big hurry now, 5:10 to play. Ball knocked away though and picked up by Philippi. Only the 6th turnover of the ball game, 3 in each half for the Magic. And Philippi with the basketball at the top of the circle. Off on the left side to Johnson. Across the top of the arc to Craig Ethan, who hits his second three-pointer of the ball game. He now has 9 in the game. And the Spartans have cut that lead down to 7 at 55-48, a 7-point lead. Here's a steal by Howells, gets it back to Ethan. Ethan drives, pulls up for the jump shot, and it's off the iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Jeremy LaBelle. The Spartans might have rushed that one just a little bit. They might have got a better shot, but they did have a 2-on-1 situation. Ethan pulled up, did have the open shot, but came up short. Ryan Gow now with the basketball. Left side to Jeremy LaBelle. Coach Max LaBelle wanted him to let the clock run a little bit. Right side to Gow. Backdoor pass for Jeremy LaBelle. And now LaBelle is injured momentarily. He's sitting up and he's going to be all right. But there was a foul call. Well, apparently not. Just out of bounds to Monticello off Steve Howells. And Homestead will throw it in. And Jeremy Gow apparently is okay. Hit the deck pretty hard under the basket. Gets the ball in. And then back outside to Gow. The jump shot by Homestead, not having one of his better games. And actually, Handel has had a better ball game than Homestead, even though Homestead has had a ton of rebounds. The overall game, Scott Handel's played a solider ball game for ROCORI. Here's Craig Ethan with the basketball. Looking inside, gets it off to Bart Johnson on the bounce pass. Back over on the right side to Philippi. Long jumper, won't go for 3. Rebound Johnson brings it outside, gives it to Philippi. Philippi with the basketball, 3:43 on the clock as we pass the midpoint of the fourth quarter. Out the top of the key, this is Philippi. Drives inside, picks up the shot. Offensive foul. And he made the shot, but an offensive foul is called. That's 5 on Philippi. So Philippi is through for the night. And 55-48 the score. 7-point lead for Monticello. And not a very popular call with the ROCORI fans, and rightly so. And so the Philippi will sit down. He fouls out with 3:35 to play. And he fouled out with 5 points in the ball game. But more importantly, the Spartans missed their ball handler. Inbounds LaBelle. The Spartans did not bring in a player for. And now the Spartans are complaining. It's a 4-on-5 situation. The officials did not stop the clock and let him bring a player in. And now we're going to get a timeout, I would guess, to talk things over. And the officials have totally lost this one. And apparently the Spartans, who had only 4 players in the ballgame, the officials did not give them an opportunity to bring a player in. And now they're going to have to talk it over. We've got a break in the action. We'll be back in 1 minute. The Spartans have a reason here to protest this ball game because of the fact the officials did not give the opportunity for the Spartans to bring in a player. And there should be 30 seconds for the officials to allow the player to come into the ball game. They did not do that, and I'm sure that's what Gary Distel is talking about right now. They just totally lost control of it. But at any rate, there was a foul called. The personal foul was charged to the Spartan Scott Handel, which was his 3rd. What happened was Jesse Philippi fouled out of the ball game, but the officials did not notice that he fouled out. Jesse went and sat down. He probably could have stayed in the game, but he did not. They did not give him the 30 seconds, which is supposed to be allowed to bring a player in his place. So the Spartans played with 4 players for that 15-second period from the 3:35 mark till the 3:20 mark. And thus the foul was called as they fouled Lavelle. Handel did. Lavelle makes both ends of the free throws, so technically that 15 seconds should never have happened because the ROCORI Spartans should have had an opportunity to bring in a player when their player fouled out. The ball is knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to the Spartans on the far side. Dan Crone came in to replace Philippi at the guard spot once we got the clock stopped and the chance for the substitution. 57-48, 9-point lead. Here's Howells with the three-pointer. It's good. That's going to be a 2, said the official. 13, he was just inside the line, 13 points in the ball game for Steve Howells. And now a whistle, and a foul will be called, and the foul will be on Jamie Benson. It'll be his third personal foul. No, Benson, not on Benson, but on Howells. It'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. At the free throw line will be Ryan Gow. 2:59 to play in the ball game. 57-50. Monticello by 7. Here's the free throw off the front of the iron, no good, and Handel rebounds it as Gow is 3 out of 5 from the charity line. Outside Crone calling the play. Directing traffic. He wants Johnson on the right wing. Gets it over to Howells on the left wing. Back over to Johnson in the corner for 3. Yes! A three-pointer for Bart Johnson. Gives him 10 in the ball game from the field, 12 total, and his second three-pointer of the game, and it's 57-53. Monticello by 4 with 2.5 minutes to play. Timeout, Monticello. They want to talk it over. Coach Max Lavelle with 2:29 to play. His team up by 4. We'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, we'll take a 45 on the next break and we should be in business. We've got all the Red River in. All 4 of those are in, so we're all set there. Ball will be out of bounds on the side to Monticello after the timeout. The timeout charged to Monticello. I believe that's the first one they've used in the ball game. As things have been going pretty well for them. They lead by only 4 now, though, 57-53. Inbounds pass with just under 2.5 minutes to play. Here's Horsch with the basketball. Gets it back outside to Lavelle, and Lavelle throws it away. B.J. Lavelle, the Gow, who he thought was going to stay outside, and he cut for the inside, and Gow had the ball sail past him and out of bounds, so the Magic give the Spartans back the ball for the 4th time in the second half. 7 turnovers in the ball game, and here's Crone outside, left side to Bart Johnson. Over to Crone at the top of the circle, directing traffic. Philippi fouled out, keep in mind. Here's Johnson for 3, yes! Bart Johnson with 2 3-pointers in a row. He now has a total of 13 in the ball game, and on the drive, a block shot underneath of Homestead, but about 3 players got him. And the Spartans now with 15 points from Bart Johnson, 13 from Steve Howells to lead the scoring with 12 from Scott Handel. Good balanced attack. The foul will be charged to ROCORI's number 30. That would be Bart Johnson's first personal foul of the ball game. Minute 52, that was a pretty good foul. 57-56, Monticello's lead down to 1. Homestead has not been to the line tonight, and he misses the first one. He has only 10 points. The Spartans have done a job on him. He's gotten his rebounds. He had 12 quite a while ago, 11 in the first half. But although he hasn't had the second half that he had in the first half, here's the rebound by Craig Ethan after the missed shot by Homestead, and the Spartans could take the lead with a minute 46 to play. 57-56 the score. Left side to Johnson, and it's off the hand of one of the Spartans and out of bounds. So the Spartans with a critical turnover right there, trailing by 1. It goes off the hand of Johnson in the corner on the pass from Crone. Inbounds pass to Lavelle on the run over the shoulder pass, and he clears it into the front court quickly. Minute and a half to play. Lavelle across the top of the circle. Here's Gow, left side now to B.J. Lavelle. Over to Jeremy Lavelle. Their father, the coach, Max Lavelle. Here's Ryan Gow, covered by Crone. Gets it on the left side to Jeremy Lavelle as they play their keep away from the Spartans. And the ball out now to B.J. Lavelle, left-hand dribble, gets it off to Jeremy Lavelle, and Lavelle actually was pushing off on Johnson, but Johnson picks up the personal foul, his second of the ball game. And at the free throw line will be Lavelle. Jeremy Lavelle at the line is 3 out of 3 from the stripe and has a total of 17 points in the ball game to lead the scoring for Monticello. Now ROCORI will huddle up as Bart Johnson brings in the signal defensively, I would guess, or whatever the call is from Coach Bob Brink on the side. He called him over there. Minute 3 to play. Lavelle's free throw is no good. Homestead comes inside, got the rebound around Hondo and got the basket. 12 points in the ball game for Homestead. Somehow he was able to get around Hondo and put it in. Here's Crone getting it off to Howell, 59-56. Crone lays it back for Hondo. He hits the basket and got fouled by Homestead. Homestead got the little payback at the other end by Hondo as Hondo got it inside, put it up and in. 14 points for Hondo, and at the charity line he'll go. And Homestead, they'll be battling each other for another couple of years in this Central Lakes Conference. It's a one-point ball game. The Spartans trail by 159-58. Hondo with a chance to tie it. Now, the Monticello fans do have reason to stop their feet. Last time they stopped it, it was an 11-point ball game. The free throw is no good, and the rebound is pulled down. That one hit the heel of the basket and came out again. 41 seconds on the clock. Cow on the outside. Cross-court pass, almost a steal by Hall, who dove for the basketball and landed on his chest in the other backcourt. Here's Lavelle with the ball. Jeremy Lavelle backing away on the dribble, and now knocked away by Howells from behind. And Howells picked up the personal foul. He thought he had a nice clean hit, and he was very upset by that one. And I would guess that Steve did have a clean hit on that one because he wouldn't have been that upset if he would have hit some flesh on that, but I'm sure he did have a clean hit. The official got him for the foul anyway. 2 fouls in the ball game for Howells. 59-58. At the line will be Jeremy Lavelle. He missed his last free throw, but then Homestead snuck in from behind and popped it in for the basket. Heindel got it at the other end. It's still 59-58. Timeout ROCORI. 24 seconds to play. We'll be back in 45 seconds. Should have a Michaels and a Stewart, and will be a point. 47-41 was the score at the end of 3 quarters. They were up by 11 at 55-44. ROCORI has outscored them in the last stretch then by a 14-4 margin and trailed by 1, now by 2 as Lavelle makes the second one. He has 4 out of 5 from the charity line and leads the scoring for Monticello with 18 points. It's been a great ball game. B-game was a good one too, won by ROCORI 44-41. Second free throw by Lavelle is good, and now it'll take a 3-pointer to tie it or a 3-point play. 21 seconds and counting in this ball game. Right side to Johnson, back outside to Crone. Crone drives, gets it back out to Howells. Howells pulls up for the 3. It's off the iron, no good. Hondo knocks away and it belongs to Monticello. 61-58, the Magic by 3. And backcourt baseline, Monticello will have the ball. And Gow will have it. And has trouble. Now he calls the timeout. So there's timeout on the floor. 9 seconds to play in the ball game. Monticello up 61-58. We'll be back in 30 seconds. They had trouble inbounding the ball, so Ryan Gow called the timeout. But no question, Monticello has everything in their favor right now. They still have a timeout or 2 remaining, so they could call another one if they can't get the inbounds past Gow. Will trigger it once again, and he'll drop it in to Lavelle, and Lavelle will be fouled. And we'll go to the other end for the free throw. 7 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds came off the clock. And Jeremy Lavelle could wrap it up right here. If he makes both ends here or even one, it would take a 4 points to tie it. The Spartans could tie it with a 3-point basket and send it into overtime if Lavelle misses it. But right now the Spartans have to be concerned about rebounding the basketball as well. Last time Homestead snuck around and got the ball and rebounded and put the basket in. So Lavelle makes the free throw, and it should make it just about irrelevant. Spartans will have to go down and make a very quick shot and then hope for a steal of the ball on the inbounds to have any chance of tying this ball game or winning it. They trail by 4 and by 5. So cool Jeremy Lavelle sinks it down court. Johnson pulls up for the jumper, banks it off the glass, no good. Handel rebounds it up and in, but that is the ball game. Handel got it down, but he finishes with 16 in the ball game. But that does it. 63-60 the final score. The Magic win it. We'll come back in 1 minute. Spartans, and our post-game show, as usual, presented by the folks at Marnatelli's Pizza in Cold Spring, and we'll have our Marnatelli's Pizza player of the game here in the post-game show. Let's look at the scoring, first of all, for the Magic of Monticello. Ryan Gow had 4 field goals, including a pair of 3-pointers. He also was 3 out of 5 from the charity line for 13 points in the ball game. B.J. Lavelle had a pair of 3-pointers for 6 in the game. Jeremy Lavelle had the best game for his ball club, including some big free throws at the end. Went to the charity line a total of 8 times and converted 7 of those. Finishes the ball game with 21 points. Randy Horsch, a couple of big weak side rebounds and baskets in the second half for 4 points. Nate Homestead had 12 in the ball game, but he had a ton of rebounds. I would guess somewhere in the neighborhood of 15, 11 in the first half. And they slowed him down a little in the second half, but then some other players picked it up. 12 for Homestead and a lot of rebounds. Jeff Smith did not score. Jamie Benson had a field goal for 2. Clint Locke had 3 out of 4 from the line and a field goal for 5 points in the game. And that was the scoring for Monticello. For ROCORI, Jesse Philippi fouled out with 3:35 to play. He finishes with 5 points, 3 out of 4 from the charity line and a field goal. Then we had the little controversy when the Spartans had only 4 players on the floor for that next 15 seconds of play. And then they finally did get the foul on the Spartans and got Dan Crone into the ballgame for ROCORI. But that was kind of an odd situation because the official did not allow ROCORI the 30 seconds needed. And there should have been a horn sounding until that other player got in. But there was just a lot of confusion at that point. And thus the problem with that. And Monticello did pick up an opportunity to get a couple of free throws there with only 4 players on the floor for the Spartans. Steve Howells finishes with 13, including a 3-pointer. Bart Johnson had 15 in the game. Solid game for Bart. 5 in the first half, 10 in the second half, including a pair of 3-pointers, 3 3-pointers, in fact, and a pair of free throws. Craig Ethan, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line, also had 4 field goals, including a pair of 3 field goals, including a pair of 3-pointers for him. Unusual for Craig, but he finishes with 9 points in the ball game. Scott Hondel, another solid performance with 10 in the first half, 6 in the second half. 16 for Hondel, and a pretty good job on Homestead overall, and 16 points in the game and a bunch of rebounds. Crone did not score in a limited role. Dan Moore had a field goal for 2, and that was the scoring for ROCORI. We'll be back with our Marnatelli's Pizza player of the game right after this for Marnatelli's. Spartans had a shot at it at the end. They had that lead down to 1 on 2 occasions, but again, Lavelle stepped to the line and hit some crucial free throws right at the end of the ball game there, and his last 3, in fact. And then Homestead had that big rebound basket after the miss on the other free throw that Jeremy Lavelle had missed before he made the 3 in a row, and that was the big difference in the ball game, as the Magic kept the lead at 3 points and did get it up to 4 or 5 at one time, and then Handel got the rebound basket and put it in and made it a 3-point win for Monticello, 63-60. Solid performance floor game for Jesse Philippi. Steve Howell's his usual good game, 13 points as well. And Scott Handel, as we said, did a super job. Not only 16 points in the ball game, but also held Nate Homestead down to 12 points in the game, even though Homestead had a ton of rebounds. We're going to go with Bart Johnson for our Martinelli's Pizza Player of the Game. Bart with a solid performance, one of his better games over the season, and he had 3 3-pointers in the game, a couple of 2-pointers, and a couple of free throws, 15 points in the ball game, moved well without the ball, and did some pretty good rebounding for the Spartans as well. So Bart Johnson is our Martinelli's Pizza Player of the Game. ROCORI goes to 7-11, 4-6 in the conference. Monticello goes to 11-7, and they are 6-4 in the Central Lakes Conference. That's it from here. Scoring by quarters, ROCORI up 16-15 at the quarter, trailed by 2 at the half, 32-30. Monticello opened it up to 47-41 at the end of the third quarter. ROCORI outscored them in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough. They got it down to 1 twice, but couldn't quite get over the hump, and Monticello wins it 63-60. Thanks to Dory Adams for the nice job back at the studios. Thanks to you for joining us on the broadcast. Our next broadcast game will be a week from Tuesday, and we'll be at Alexandria for that game. ROCORI's next ball game will be against Apollo, and that will be coming up on the 19th at ROCORI. That's it from here. I'm Connie O. Final score once again, Monticello 63, ROCORI 60. Have a pleasant good evening.